All right, y'all. Got my hat on. I love my Jamaican hats. One day maybe I get to go to Jamaica. So anyway, you guys, today is, what's today? Today is Thursday. And it's raining outside. So I wanted to come on real quick because I had promised you guys, let me turn my car off. I had promised you guys a video for the mothers in the church. Because I have a passion and I have a heart for women that's in domestic, that's been abused by their husbands or been abused by their boyfriends. We want to be advocate for domestic violence, okay? So a lot of times when we have mothers in the church, older women in the church. Now, you know, back in the day when my mom was a little girl, they didn't have a lot of advocacy or laws to protect women when they were beaten by their husbands. Back then, you know, most of the women, you just had to stay with your husband. It didn't matter if he beat you. It didn't matter. You still had to stay with your husband. There was no protection for that. And a lot of times also back then, once you got married and left your house, most times you couldn't go back to your parents' house. Once you was out, you was out. And being that if you did try to go back to your mama house back in the day, y'all, your mom will even tell you, go back to that man and just don't make him angry. Don't make him upset. You know, that was the advice women back in the day gave other women. You just had to be with your husband. It didn't matter if he was cheating on you. It didn't matter if he had other outside children. You know, they would say, well, he's a man and you just gonna have to deal with it. They did not believe in leaving your husband for nothing. The only way you could leave your husband, honey, is if he killed you, I guess. Death had to take you out of this world. But back then, they just believed in staying with your husband no matter what he did or no matter how he treated you. And that's the way it was back in the day, you know. So, and I'm sure not everyone, but for the most part, you just had to put up with whatever your husband did. If he beat you, I mean, it wasn't like you could go to the police station and take out a warrant of restraining orders. You just had to put a band-aid on that knot on your head or whatever, and you just had to deal with it. And sometimes I feel like, or I believe when it comes to the church and older mothers in the church, sometimes they still give this advice to younger women or women in their 30s, 40s, and 20s. And I just don't believe that's good advice to be giving our young girls. And a lot of times they'll say, stay with your husband because you don't want to bring no shame or no offense to the church. But that's never going to bring shame or offense to the church. Because and like I said on another video, Christ died for the church. We're not going to ever, nobody can ever stain the church because it's his church. And when he come back, the Bible says he come back for a church, for a people without a spot or wrinkle. So mothers, and sometimes, and it ain't always the mother, sometimes you got women in their 30s and 40s sometimes tell young girls, when a young girl or young woman go to them and let them know, my husband is beating me, they start telling the woman, well, just don't make him upset. Just make sure you're doing everything right. No, that's not the right advice to give. Because these men are killing these women. It don't matter that they first ladies. It don't matter that they in the church. These men killing their women. And killing their wives. So you don't never advise a woman to stay in no house, in no marriage, with no man that's beating her. And I don't understand why the church can't understand that. You get that woman some help. You get her to a safe place. And I find that sometimes that's what hurts the body of Christ a lot. Because we cover up a lot of things. And don't get me wrong. It's good to have counsel inside the church. Like when people trying to work on their marriage, yeah, we cover them and we protect them and we don't expose things that's going on in their marriage. But when you got detrimental stuff, things like this here, when husbands are beating their wives and you want to stay a secret because you don't want nobody to find out that's going on in the church, no. Jesus ain't never told us to cover up no sin when somebody's life is in stake. No, there's a way to go about doing everything. So like the commenter has said on one of my videos, sometimes these young women can't even go to the mothers in the church because the mothers is telling them to go back to their husbands. Stay with him. No, I ain't telling no woman that. If your husband beating you, you better leave him. Because y'all know what I always say, you're going to wake up dead, honey. You better get yourself to a safe place. That's right. We got to support one another as females, as women. I don't care if he is the pastor, the bishop, the archangel, the chief apostle, whatever he may be. If he whipping his wife, you don't tell that woman to go back to that man. He might kill her. No. And then you're going to give her a list of things to do. Don't make him mad. Make sure his dinner cooked. No, honey, we not no robots. We women. We human beings. So what if he get mad? It don't give him no right to beat us. So what if we say something he don't agree with or don't like? They give him a right to make my eye black? No. No. You have a right to your own opinion. To say how you feel and voice your opinion. Without being whipped. He got an issue. He got a problem. The thing, some of these pastors need to be set down. And some of these so-called bishops, they just need to be set down. But who gonna set them down? Who gonna confront them? Nobody. Ain't nobody gonna confront them. The law confront more criminals than church folk confront more sinners. Let me say that again. The law confront more criminals than the church will confront sinners. I don't understand it for nothing in the world. You know what? Let me hush. I'm about to go on into something else, honey. I don't. But mothers, when these young girls come to you and they confiding you and trying to tell you that their husband is beating them, don't you give them that deadly advice to go back to him and do A, B, C, and D to keep him calm. No. You better get her some help. Let her go to a shelter. Go to a safe place. Ain't nobody got time to be going home trying to block no punches and cover up with makeup and stuff. So mothers, you better learn how to, and I'm not saying all mothers, because like I said, we got some good mothers. Some of these mothers don't play that now. They don't play that. But I believe for the most part, because we trying so hard to protect the church. We trying so hard to make the church name great. Let me tell you something. You can't make and protect the church. That's the job of Jesus Christ. But what we can do is help individuals be the best that they can be in God. Because when the individual is at their best in God, then hey, we are the church. It's going to be well. But you can't put a covering on top of sickness and think it's gonna be all right. It's not. It's not. Some of this stuff got to be exposed in the right arenas, of course. But like I said, if a young girl or a young girl woman come to an older woman, give her some good godly counsel. Good godly counsel says, if your husband is beating you, okay, let's see if we can get them into the church. And let's get you some counsel and see. But most of these men's, honey, their egos and attitudes are so far up, they ain't getting ready to sit, ain't no bishop getting ready to sit under nobody else and listen to them tell them nothing. They ain't gonna do it, but they want to minister to you and tell you how to run your house, but you can't tell them they in error. You can't tell them that. So a lot of times, the women, first ladies in the church or young girls in the church, they can't even go to other mature. They feel like they mature women in the church and let them know what's going on behind closed doors. They can't even do it. Because the first thing they want to do is keep it a secret. The power of the sin is in the secret. I had to learn that myself. Keep it a secret. Keep it hidden. Don't say nothing about it. Go home and do this and go home and do that. And just it'll just work out. When? After 50 years of being abused and being beat, now the man is a diabetic, ain't got but both his toes been cut off. She pushing him around in a wheelchair. We got to wait for that to get peace? No, and stop telling these women these testimonies. I ain't want to hear them. Well, honey, I been with my husband. When we got married, my husband used to beat on me, child, but I prayed, and you know the Lord changed him after 40 years of being married. When did it change? When he got sick on his deathbed? That when it was changed? Stop telling these women these testimonies, honey, about you took abuse from your husband for 40 years, and then God changed him when he got on his deathbed. No. He just didn't have the strength to go upside your head no more. That's all it was. It ain't God changed him. God took his strength from him. Child, that ain't no testimony to tell nobody you endured abuse for 40 and 50 years. And that's why you humped over now and can't hardly get around, because you're being beat all your life by the bishop or by the pastor. All right, mothers. Let's help these women. My God, if we don't help each other, who else gonna help us? Get out of that mess. It ain't the will of God for you to be beat just because he the bishop or the pastor. And maybe he ain't the bishop or the pastor. You just a Christian couple in the church. It ain't the will of God for nobody to put their hands on nobody. Whether you're saved or you ain't saved. No. So anywho, that's what I wanted to come on and share. So when a woman, another female lady come to you and tell you her husband is abusing her, you better take that thing serious. Take it serious. If she come and telling you, ladies, and when they come and tell you, have enough God in you to keep her words just with you. You ain't got to go spread it all over social media and spread it all over to everybody. No. You got to be able to receive people's secrets, receive things that are precious to people without telling everybody. You got to be able to hold stuff. And that's why a lot of women don't share with other women too, because we talk too much. We want to tell our best friend and they're going to tell their best friend. No. If someone come to you with a secret or something that's going on in their life, now if you know somebody that can really help them, you let that person know. Look, honey, you know what? I'm not a professional in this, but I know people that are professionals in this. Let's go see if we'll share it with them so we can get you some help. There's a good godly way to do everything. All right? But all this foolishness that's going on, honey, telling these women, stay with your husband. You don't want to bring no offense to the church. How's she going to bring offense to the church when she the one getting her tail whipped? That don't even, come on now. You don't want to be, you know that's going to be embarrassing. No, what's embarrassing is that we live in we're living a life of hypocrisy. That's what's embarrassing. I'm telling you, these men is whipping their wives, honey. And ain't nobody wanting to say nothing, do nothing about it. But don't let her, she better not come tell me. If she come tell me, I'm going to help her. I'm going to help her. I sure am. Enough with all this mess going on. Because I'm telling you, we living in a day and time now, honey. Nobody got time for no foolishness. In the church and nowhere else. Because there's a standard, there's a way we're supposed to live as leaders in the church. And if you live in a raggedy life where you beat your wife, cuss out folk, and think you're going to get up and minister, the devil is a lie. Now, we just going to have to call what? A spade, honey. I'm not getting ready to listen to it. I'm not now. Say what you want to say. And these pastors and bishops that keep getting remarried over and over again, honey, that's about to be, we got to nip that in the bud too. There ain't no way you know pastor and bishop and divorce your wife while you a bishop or a pastor and then go marry somebody else while you a bishop or a pastor. Something bad wrong with that. I think the Bible say a bishop should be the husband of one wife, not 2 and 3. So, we trying to keep it together over here. But there's some things that's enough is enough. Enough is enough, honey. But anyway, let's give good godly counsel to these females and men too. We do have some good pastors and some good bishops and some good leaders that will reach out and help these women the best that they can. They don't believe in women being abused and keeping things a secret. They don't. But like I said, there's a way to go about doing everything. Everything. So I hope this was a clear video. If it won't, leave your comments down in the comment section. But mothers, older women, let's help these younger girls. Because I'm telling you, they're going through something now. They're going through something. And my God, if they can't come to the people of God and get some relief, where they gonna go? Where they gonna go? So anyway, let me try to get on out this car, honey, because it's raining. And I got to go on to work. Well, I'll talk to you guys later. If y'all have any comments, any questions, or any video requests, put it in the comment section. And I will see you later. Have a great Thursday. Toodles.